Hi, Annette. It's James Hammond. We spoke
Hi, James.
briefly earlier. Yes, hi.
Yes,
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you today?
Whoa, that's a question.
Not great.
I won't. I
I
mean,
know.
I can try and
You're
answer.
off. You're off sick just now. Is that right?
Well,
No.
yeah, it is right. I have been off with stress since uh, the 18th, I think, of November.
18th. Do you work for Barclays?
Barclays Bank PLC.
Right. Okay. Okay. That's fine.
I actually went off uh, right at the start of November.
Uh
Um,
huh.
I was taking a couple of days annual leave to deal with buying my flat from my landlord
Uh
and
huh.
to cope with a load of amounting stress, which is like a lifelong a build up of stress, but very acutely over the last kind of 11 months up to that point.
Okay.
And 2 days after I did that, a close friend of mine had a cardiac arrest and didn't survive. Um, that has wrecked the lives of mine and several others, and a lot has happened since, including the worst general election I've ever seen. Christmas alone in my flat, in isolation. But my birthday in February alone in my flat in isolation. I had a big falling out over New Year's in terms of a ski trip that I tried to go to, and that my family and friends actively impeded me going on and won't apologise for. I've been at war with them since. I've been funding a ridiculous drug habit to try and sustain it. But other than that drug habit, I'm like the healthiest person you've ever met, and this is continually, repeatedly confirmed by other medics who tell me that I have a very, very, very strong heart and body and mind, and that I have no reason to worry. We're like, well, okay, I have many reasons to worry, and I have a really acute pain in my heart that none of, sorry to rattle off, but this is a lot of information. None of
Okay.
the drugs that the state are giving me are curing this pain in my heart. I've tried taking like above prescribed levels of paracetamol and ibuprofen, and they're just having no effect at all. I tried taking cocodamol, which they gave me when I broke my wrist back in November, shortly after my friend died, um, and that causes me to have night seizures. Um, I only once had a seizure in the past when I tried taking antidepressants, also prescribed by the states. Had a series of neurological tests, including an electroencephalogram, in which they told me I was borderline epileptic and to avoid drugs given to me by the state. So I'm currently legally funding drugs, ketamine and cannabis only, quite literally only, and these are the only things curing this pain in my heart. It's strange. I haven't drunk alcohol in over a year. I haven't had caffeine since November. I'm basically vegetarian now. I eat nothing but fibre and vitamins and these very specific drugs of my choice, and I'm bankrupting myself in this process. I keep reporting this process to anyone who'll listen, including friends and family, as early as November. And I've been to A&E 6 times. I've tried going to the Priory. My therapist, appointed by work, sent a report advising about my condition to the Priory, yet when I got to the Priory, they were clueless about my condition, and I discharged myself immediately. That decision was ratified by my therapist and the AXA, the private medical cover who set it up, who said that actually that's quite a typical experience of people going into the Priory, and if I wouldn't mind putting in a complaint, they would support it. So I've got a series of disputes I can't manage. I haven't had any income since May, which was the last point at which my employer paid me anything. I should have been receiving an income protection um, payment since of 65% of my salary, given that I've been paying above and beyond into this scheme for a number of years now, but that has been declined in brutal and silly fashion. I know exactly how to take this apart because I used to work for the Financial Ombudsman Service in medical claims. I've also worked for a number of insurers, so I know exactly how to take the decision apart. It's just a very traumatic and distressing thing that I shouldn't have to do, and that I'm having to deal with alone. And I've been dealing with this isolation for 11 months, and I keep saying to people it's the isolation that's killing me, not the drugs. People keep telling me it's the drugs that are killing me. I've got quite literally 11 months of evidence to, and including medical records, to dispute this. but apparently that's not enough. So I very much do need to speak to a lawyer. I don't know if it's currently an employment lawyer or a civil rights lawyer, but I need to speak to a lawyer because my employer hasn't paid me anything since May. They told me... Sorry, there's a lot of information here. I received, after my last full pay slip of about 1,500 quid, I received 2 consecutive pay slips of 126 and £75 respectively. My employer, who I chased to be like, why aren't you even paying me statutory sick pay, said, oh, we sent you a letter back in May, did you not receive it? No, I had to chase that letter via my manager, via WhatsApp, who then gave me an email address, which I emailed because there's no phone support due to COVID, and they emailed me a copy of a letter dated the end of May on the 28th of July saying I needed to go to the state and claim universal credit, which I did as soon as possible. The state paid me on the 4th of September £400. So, yeah, I've maxed out all my credit cards. I'm at the end of my overdraft. I'm engaging with debt recovery agencies. My employer hasn't given me any work since November. They aren't contacting me unless I contact them, and when they do, it's in written format and it's via WhatsApp, and it's all just crazy. I don't understand how I'm still an employee if I don't have any any income or any contact from my employer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, obviously, you've been through quite a lot, obviously, it sounds like.
Sorry, if I can just add one more thing quickly, which was during all of that, on the 10th of March, my university housemate, Chris, took his own life, and that was just before lockdown kicked in. I got to go to my first friend's funeral. I didn't get to go to Chris's funeral. Chris was death number 7, and I have endured a lot of death and bereavement in my life. The earliest was my elder sister Anna, who had leukemia and died at 4.5 years old. I was 15 months old. I'm getting a...
Jane, let me, what I'll do is I'll speak to one of the solicitors, because obviously...
I really need some help, Annette.
We want to make sure that it is an employment, we only deal with employment law.
I don't know what kind of law I need, but I'm utterly in ruins.
That's what I'm going to try and find out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and we'll come back to you hopefully this afternoon. Is that okay?
I think so. I think I need to have a little bit of a cry, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, Jane. I'll speak to you soon, okay?
Alright, thanks, Annette.
Alright, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. I really appreciate it.